Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the truth is starting to catch up with the National Party. It is starting to dawn on them that making outlandish claims about good economic management means that the public actually expect good economic management. And so as it all starts to come unravelled and it starts to become abundantly clear that that's not what they have been delivering, it's all catching up on them. When Alfred Naro speaks about borrow and spend governments, he doesn't accept the irony that actually this government has had the largest borrowing record of any government in New Zealand's history, even more than Rob Muldoon. This government has borrowed more money than any other New Zealand government. Now, he talked about borrow and spend in the context of the Labour government. Well, let's bring some facts into that as well. The Labour government ran surpluses 9 years, every year in government, and in fact, not only did they not borrow, they paid back the debt they inherited from the previous national government, and they did that whilst saving for the future through the New Zealand Superannuation Fund. Thank you, Michael Cullen. As Bill English said when he first became the Finance Minister, Michael Cullen and the last Labour government saved for the rainy day that was the global financial crisis, and this national government squandered the whole lot. They squandered it all. They have completely left the New Zealand economy in a basket case because they have wasted every opportunity that they have been given, and it's all catching up on them because the style, because the promises that John Key and the National Party made have not been kept, and they are all catching up on them. We talk about John Key. What did he say? He said it would be a fundamental purpose of his government to narrow the wage gap between ourselves and Australia and to grow local wages in New Zealand. How have they done on that? The wage gap with Australia is now bigger. It is bigger than it was when the National Party became the government. The wage gap has gotten bigger. That's a broken promise. He said, I'm not interested in selling assets. I'm all about building assets. That's what John Key said. Have they kept their promise? No, they haven't. Assets have been sold off right, left and centre. We would prefer, this is a direct quote from John Key, we would prefer that we were a more equal society with less inequality. And yet the wage gap, the inequality gap in New Zealand has continued to get bigger and bigger under this national government. That's broken promise number, I'm up to about 4 now, I think, but we'll keep going because there's plenty more. I expect high standards from my ministers. That accounts for broken promises number 5 through to 87, that I expect high standards from my ministers. Broken promises number 5 to 87 is accounted for in that. But of course, John Key can't keep that promise when he won't lead by example. He also said, quote, my style is to be open and transparent. Well, that's broken promises number 87 to 163 from John Key, because he certainly hasn't been open and transparent. We've had plenty of leaks from the national government, the things that they didn't want us to know about, and it has been abundantly clear that open and transparent he has not been. So let's talk about some of their other promises. National's not going to be raising GST. It was one of the first things they did, was put GST up, another broken promise from the National Party. Some of the more recent promises, free doctors' visits for the under-13s and free prescriptions for the under-13s, except not all of them. Only about 90% of them. They didn't tell the public about that. So there's still 10% of kids who don't qualify for that. More, and probably more than that. Another broken promise by the national government. And then, of course, they promised to lift wages. They said average wages will move from $55,000 to $62,000 under the national government. And Bill English is already saying that's not going to happen. He's already admitting that that is yet another broken promise by the National Party. I've lost count already. We're up to 200 and something, I think, broken promises by the National Party. Over the next 2 years, we expect to see about 150,000 jobs created. The National Party promised. Not one single forecast from any economist or the Treasury has indicated that that is going to be delivered. And of course, then we've got the big promise. They promised New Zealanders not that they were going to deliver a surplus, but that they'd already done it. They told New Zealanders they'd already done it, and now not only are they not going to deliver a surplus this year, there's real real doubt about whether they'll deliver it next year.
Right.
Bill English, very cagey, when asked about the Treasury telling him that it would rely on a recovery in milk prices to deliver the surplus next year. Wouldn't answer questions because they know they can't deliver it. Another broken promise.
Order. Members, the time for this debate has expired. Call on Government Order of the Day number 1.